Okay, I just wanted to take a brief detour from Python to show another way you could use Houdini to run the poly reduction tasks and lots of other tasks for that matter. That's using its PDG system. Uh, so if you go over to tasks, or tops it's called, and tab, and then just create a top network. So essentially PDG allows you to process and schedule lots of tasks, and it gives you lots of handy nodes for things like reading in files, doing stuff to them, and then spitting them out, or distributing them onto the farm, and all this sort of stuff. It's very handy. So here I'm just going to do a really quick example of basically redoing what we did in the previous lesson. So let's just drop down a file pattern node. And the file pattern basically allows us to, kind of like we've been doing with the OS get files of type, basically we can use a wildcard to find our files. So we're just going to go to our home, desktop, and scans, and then do .obj, and it's kind of the same thing. We'll do recursive, well we don't need to, but you could do recursively. I'm going to get rid of that. So just to remind you, in our scans we've just got these 4 obj scans. I've got rid of the reduced ones from last time. Cool, so if you right click on this and do cook selected node, it says run off, and it's found 5 file types of this obj. Again, like I said, if you did it recursively, you could go through all your shots and find all sorts of different assets in here, so this is pretty cool. And then we are just going to run it through a HGA processor. So HGAs or OTLs, whatever you want to call them, are basically just wrapped up nodes inside Houdini, but do some kind of functionality. So what we're going to do is point to this. I've created a HGA here that's literally just a wrapper around the poly reduce node we used earlier. So let's just point to that. Okay, desktops poly reduce. If you go to HDA parameters, we can see we've just got an amount. This is basically our poly reduction amount. So let's set that again to, can't remember what we did. Let's do 20 for instance. And that will basically take the these objects in. If we say create file inputs, take them in, run this HGA over them, and then spit out results, which is exactly what we want. So I've set the parameters there, and we just need to go make sure this is file input, so it's reading the data in, and then we're going to write it back out over here. So here we're just going to swap this again to home, desktop, scans. And here we're going to take the file name and just do reduced, no, reduce PDG for instance. And again, just write those back out as OBJ files. And then if you right click on here and just do cook selected node, this will now go off, and these little graphs here, these dots here, sorry, are basically the tasks. So if you click on this, this is your little task graph. Essentially it's running off and cooking this process. So it will take a file in, run it through that HGA that just reduces it down, and then spit it back out with this new reduced PDG name. So let's have a look here. Cool, and when that's done, we'll come back and have a look. Okay, we're back and it's cooked out all those assets successfully, and here inside our scans file we've got our reduced scans again.